Beings of light. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeanette and I'm a high vibrational being. And I'm back with another message. Center. Whew. I just came from outside, so I'm sweating. I am so hot. Had a long walk, so I'm sweating. Bear with me for a second. I came in and I just sat down for a few minutes to gather myself and to be in silence with my father. There's so much energy out there. OMG, I am just, I, I feel the energy. I feel, it's like just so much is going on. Just so much is going on. This energy is very heavy. I heard that this full moon is going to be an eclipse, so maybe I'm picking up on that energy. But it's also going to be Friday the 13th tomorrow. So, but everybody, you know, stay in your center. Protect yourself. Know that no weapon formed against you could ever prosper. You will only, that energy will only come in if you agree to that energy. Make sure that you do not accept energy that is not of your highest good. I also want to encourage, because this book is really, it's really informative. And it brings light to a lot of things that we go through in life, especially when we give our power away. Make sure that you stand in your power. Make sure that you do not give your power away to anything, to anyone, to any belief system. We all have done it. We all have done it. And if you are on your journey, you do not. You do not give your power away. You know how powerful you are. You know how divine you are. You know, when you work from a space of love, that's where God is at. God is in your heart. Coming in here, people touching my crystal. I don't know how people just violate people's boundaries, or even have, I wouldn't even come up to somebody and touch somebody's stuff to, touch their things. And I don't work in that form. I have respect for a lot of people. And then the negative talk, I don't listen to that talk. I just move away from it, because I do not want that energy to be in my field. I do not accept it. It's like, as soon as you bang, people just want to take you off the, no, you don't have that power. No. Every corner, I felt like every corner I was walking through, I couldn't even, how you say it, I couldn't access my Wi-Fi. There was somebody in every Wi-Fi place. I felt like, I, just weird, okay? Just weird. I know what it was, but I keep that to myself. But they don't have no power over me. I rebuke that energy to the blood of Christ. I rebuke it and send it to the light. And I pray that people start to begin to heal, because the wrath of God is upon a lot of people. A lot. And it will continue that way. It will continue that way. Because people are not working from a space of love. So before I start, I just want to, I didn't write anything last night, but I did write something today. But I just want to go to a psalm Psalm 23. is much needed right now at this time, and I need to ground my energy. It's just a lot. I'm not crying because people, I'm crying because I have so much faith in my Father that I walk through the shadow of death and I fear no one or nothing. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. For you are with me, dear Father. You're always with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy. You anoint my hands with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I will not accept anything that is not of the highest good, that is not of God. I rebuke and bind all demonic energies to the blood of Jesus. I send it to the light. I pray that they heal. I pray that they turn around and repent their sins. And if not, then you have made your choice. And nobody's to blame but you. I was channeling a song. I don't know, I was coming here and I kept hearing, nothing compares to you. So I'm going to see what is that song about. Nothing compares to you. I was channeling that song. Somebody is probably comparing somebody with another person, and that person doesn't compare to that other person. It's like the big difference. I want you guys to understand. Listen to the words that the people are using. Listen to the words that the way they're communicating. Please understand. The last time I read this, the first chapter, was the first chapter of agreement, right? The first one was be impeccable with your words. Speak with integrity. Say what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your words in a direction of truth and love. That's the way we need to speak to the people. We need to speak to each other in the direction of truth and love, not of hate, not of anger, not truth. The next chapter will be don't take anything personal. We're going to jump into that. But I would like to give you a little background and information on the person who wrote the book. I think he deserves a lot of credit, Don Miguel Ruiz. Nothing compares to you lyrics. Oh, Sinead O'Connor. Wow, I haven't heard any of it. I know I think she passed away. But it says it's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. It's been a while. I go out every night and sleep all day. Somebody may go out every night and sleep during the daytime, and they just think about the love that you took away from them. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whoever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant, but nothing I say, nothing can take away these blues. Somebody is deep in their feelings, deep in their emotions. Uh, they feel a little freedom, but it's nothing. Nothing compares to you. It's been lonely without you here, like a bird without a song. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong? I could put my arms around every boy I see. Maybe this is a woman who is missing their partner, but they'd only remind me of you. I went to the doctor and guess what he told me? Oh, somebody's pregnant. Guess what he told me? He said, girl, you better have fun no matter what you do. But he's a fool. Oh no, why did I say somebody could be pregnant? I thought I was gonna say somebody was pregnant, but she went to the therapist and the therapist told her, girl, you better have fun no matter what you do because he was a fool to let you go. Because nothing compares to you. All the flowers you planted, mama in the backyard, all died when you went away. I know that living with you, baby, was something hard, but I'm willing to give it another try. Somebody wants to try again, but nothing compares to you. Somebody went out of the relationship, somebody, I don't know, but nobody compares to you. Nothing compares. Somebody loved somebody, but the relationship is over. Once it's over, the relationship is over. I don't know how the relationship was between these people, but from what I seen, the plants that they planted, it all died. It wasn't really love. It really wasn't the love that really was attended to. This love was just maybe a time for spending a passing by kind of relationship, nothing really true. True love really, when you find true love, I think it will be a love, well, with this new energy, it's going to be a love that will last forever. Just gonna leave it at that. The love that the lust and people have had, we all had them. We all had these types of relationships, but that is no longer going to be the energy. That's not what God wants for His children. God wants a kingdom spouse for each and every one of His children, and the children of the children's children. Okay, it's handed down from generation to generation. That's where the love is going to, because we're going to teach our kids differently. Is it 333 again? Wow, Ascended Master Jesus was with us the last 3 days. 3 days I've recorded and I've been seeing the 333. But I also want to speak. Yesterday I was sitting down where I was at today, and I know it came back to my memory that I was walking past this church yesterday. I'm not gonna mention the church because people like, and I saw this bright green orb, and the orb was passing through the saints, and it was where the picture of Jesus and it was a green, bright orb. And it went by very quickly, and I was like, I couldn't even take a screenshot or anything of it, but it passed by the saints. And it's so funny because I went into that church last week to use the bathroom, and then passing through this church. It may be or may not be the same church, but this church had this green orb just passing really quickly. I believe it was a sign from Archangel Gabriel. And then I started to research. An orb is a transparent ball of light of energy. Some also believe that orbs signify that your guardian angel is nearby. Seeing one may signify that you are being protected by a higher power. So I received that message. And today I was walking by and Spirit was God. I get this. This is God. God is light. God is the brightest light. God is pure, beautiful, loving energies. And the angels and the ascended masters, they are all of light. And I received this feather. And then I seen 222. Then I seen 888. It's a lot of confirmation. I work with energy, so it's like everything is revealing more and more and more and more as I continue to ascend. I continue to tap into, or spirits are working with me. I feel like they're working with me more and more and more. And I'm very thankful. God was reminding me that wherever I go, I am always protected. There is no weapon that will ever be formed against me that should ever prosper. So that's what I got from the message. And he dedicates this book, Don Miguel, to his family, but he goes to say to the circle of fire. That's funny because I had a dream with the circle of fire. Those who have gone before, those who are present, and to those who have yet to come. So he acknowledges, I just want to read this, the Toltecs. Thousands of years ago, the Toltecs were known throughout southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge. Anthropologists have spoken of Toltec as a nation or a race, but in fact, the Toltecs were scientists and artists who formed a society to explore and conserve the spiritual knowledge and practices of the ancient ones. They came together as masters, Nagals, and students of the Totonacan, the ancient city of pyramids outside Mexico City, known as the place where man becomes God. Over the millennium, the Nagals were forced to conceal the ancestral wisdom and maintain its existence in obscurity. European conquest, coupled with rampant misuse of the personal power by a few of the apprentices. They misuse of the personal power by a few of the apprentices made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who were not prepared to use it wisely or who might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed through generations by different lineages of Nagals. Through it, reminded veiled in secrecy for hundreds of years, ancient prophecies foretold the coming of an age when it would be necessary to return the wisdom to the people. Now, Don Miguel, a Nagal from the Eagle Knight lineage has been guided to share with us the powerful teachings of the Toltec. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it is not a religion, it honors all the spiritual masters who have taught on the earth. While while it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described as a way of life, distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. Then it goes into smoky mirrors. Let's see. Smoky mirrors. I will read you the smoky river. Smoky mirror. 3,000 years ago, there was a human, just like you and me, who lived near a city surrounded by mountains. The human was studying to become a medicine man, to learn the knowledge of his ancestors, but he didn't completely agree with everything he was learning. In his heart, he felt there must be something more. One day, as he slept in a cave, he dreamed that he saw his body sleeping. He came out of the cave on the night of a new moon. The sky was clear, and he could see millions of stars. Then something happened inside of him that transformed his life forever. He looked at his hands, he felt his body, and he heard his own voice say, "I am made of light. I am made of stars." He looked at the stars again, and he realized that it was not the stars that create light, rather light that creates the stars. Everything is made of light, he said, and the space in between isn't empty. And he grew and he knew that everything that exists is one living being. And that light is the messenger of life because it is alive and it contains all information. Then he realized that although he was made of stars, he was not those stars. I am in between the stars, he thought. So he called the stars the tonal, and the light between the stars the nugal. And he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life or intent. Without life, the tonal and the nagal could not exist. Life is the force of the absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of one living being we call God. Everything is God. And he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of the light and the world of illusions. The dream is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. The real us is pure love, pure light, he said. This realization changed his life. Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature, and he was amazed at what he saw. He saw himself in everything. in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, in the rain, in the clouds, in the earth. And he saw that light mix the tonal and the nagal in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. In those moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited and his heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he had discovered, but there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell others, but they could not understand. They could see that he had changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes and his voice. He noticed that he no longer had judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. And I can understand how he feels because I am on that journey as well. They believed that he was an incarnation of God, and he smiled when he heard this, and he said, "It is true. I am God, but you are also God. We are all the same, you and I. We are images of light. We are God." But still the people didn't understand him. He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people, a mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror, he said. He saw himself in everyone, but nobody saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing what they really are. They couldn't see him as themselves because there was a wall of fog or smoke between the mirrors. And that wall of fog was made by the interpretation of images of light, the dreams of humans. Water. Then he knew that he would soon forget all that he had learned. He wanted to remember all the visions he had had. So he decided to call himself the Smoky Mirror so that he would always know that matter is a mirror and the smoke is between is and smoke in between is what keeps us from knowing what we are. He said, "I am the smoky mirror because I am looking at myself in all of you, but we don't recognize each other because the smoke in between us, because of the smoke in between us. The smoke is the dream. Excuse me. And the mirror is you, the dreamer." A quote from John Lennon, "Living is easy, with eyes closed, misunderstanding all of you." See? John Lennon. Then I'm going to start with the agreement number 2. The second agreement. Don't take anything personally. The next 3 agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, "Hey, You are so stupid without knowing you. Is a is it not about you? It's it's not about you, it's about me. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he did I read this? Or maybe I read it the first. Did I read this? Maybe I did. I'm sorry. Back to the book. Okay. I read it earlier in this book. That's probably why. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you and you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expressions of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. During the period of your education or your domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world. And we try to impose our world on their world. Please only take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Nobody's imposing anything. Remember, you're the one who has control of your own life. Nobody has control of your own life. You make agreements with people. You are accepting things that other people say about you. You have the opportunity to accept it or leave it alone. You are responsible. You are the creator. You create your own reality. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements they have in their own minds. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received during domestication. If someone gives you an opinion and says, hey, you look so fat, don't take it did I read this? I don't know. It sounds like okay. No, okay. Sorry. Taking things personal makes you easy prey for these predators, these black magicians. They can hook you easily with one little opinion and feed you whatever poison they want. And because you take it personal, you eat it up. You eat all their emotional garbage, and now it becomes your garbage. But if you don't take it personally, you are immune in the middle of hell. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of disagreement. When you take things personally, then you feel offended. And your reaction is to defend your belief and create conflicts. You make something big out of something so little because you have the need to be right and make everybody else wrong. You also try to be right by giving them your opinions. And in the same way, whatever you feel and do is just a projection of your own personal dream. A reflection of your own agreement. What you say, what you do, and the opinions you have are according to the agreements you have made. And these opinions have nothing to do with me. It is not important to me what you think about me. I really don't care what anybody think about me. And I don't take what you think personally. I don't take it personally when people say, Miguel, you are the best. And I also don't take it personally when they say, Miguel, you are the worst. I know that when you are happy, you will tell me, Miguel, you are such an angel. But when you're mad at me, you'll say, oh, Miguel, you're such a devil. You're disgusting. How can you say those things? Either way, it does not affect me because I know what I am. I don't have the need to be accepted. I don't have the need to have someone tell me, Miguel, you are doing so good. Oh, how dare you do that? No, I don't take it personally. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, I know is your problem and not my problem. It is the way you see the world. It is nothing personal because you are dealing with yourself, not with me. Others are going to have their own opinions according to their belief system. So nothing they say or nothing they think about me is really about me, but it is about them. You may even tell me, Miguel, what are you saying? What you're saying is hurting me. But it's not what I'm saying that is hurting you. It is that you have wounds that I touch by what I have said. You are hurting yourself. There is no way that I can take this personally. Not because I don't believe in you or don't trust you, but because I know that you see the world with different eyes, with your eyes. You create an entire picture or movie in your mind. And in that picture, you are the director. You are the producer. You are the main character, actor or actress. Everyone else is secondary actor or actresses. It is your movie. Very interesting how he puts it. I really like the concept of how he puts, how we project our lives, how we look at things. The way you see the movie is according to the agreements you have made with life. Your point of view is something personal to you. It is no one's truth but yours. Then if you get mad at me, I know you are dealing with yourself. I am the excuse for you to get mad. And you get mad because you are afraid. Because you are dealing with fear. If you are not afraid, there is no way you will get mad at me. If you're not afraid, there is no way you will hate me. If you're not afraid, there is no way you will be jealous or sad. If you live without fear, if you love, there is no place for any of those emotions. If you don't feel any of those emotions, it is logical that you feel good. When you feel good, everything around you is good. Everything around you is great. Everything makes you happy. You are you are loving everything that is around you because you are loving yourself. Because you like the way you are, because you are content with you, because you're happy with your life. You are happy with the movie that you are producing, happy with your agreements with life. You are at peace and you are happy. And many people cannot see that. You live in a state of bliss where everything is so wonderful and everything is so beautiful. And people ask you, this is my 2 cents, what planet are you from? Where do you live? Where's your reality? Because we live in this world. We live in two different worlds. My world is not the same as everybody else's world. I see things different. I learned how to see my movie, my life through a different lens, not like everybody else's. And that's why we need to, well, I don't want to tell people how to live their life because that's not where I'm at. It's just a lot of guidance, and this speaks volumes. You live in a state of bliss where everything is so wonderful and everything is so beautiful. In that state of bliss, you are making love all the time with everything that you perceive. Whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. If they tell you how wonderful you are, they're saying that because of you. You know you are wonderful. It is not necessarily to believe other people who tell you that you are wonderful. Don't take anything personally. Even if somebody got a gun and shot you in the head, it is not personal, even at that extreme. Even the opinions you have about yourself are not necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind personally. The mind has the ability to talk to itself, but it also has the ability to hear information that is available from other realms. Sometimes you hear a voice in your mind and you may wonder where it came from. This voice may have come from another reality, which there are living beings very similar to the human mind. The Toltecs called these beings allies. In Europe, Africa, and India, they called them the gods. Our minds also exist in the levels of the gods. Our minds also lives in the reality and can perceive that reality. The mind sees with the eyes and perceives this waking reality. But the mind also sees and perceives without the eyes through the reason is hardly aware of this perception. Uh, But the mind also sees and perceives without the eyes, although the reason is hardly aware of its perception. The mind lives in more than one dimension, and there may be times when you have ideas that don't originate in your mind, but you are perceiving them with your mind. You have the right to believe or not believe these voices, and the right not to take what they say personally. We have a choice whether or not to believe the voices we hear within our minds, just as we have choice of what to believe and agree with in the dream of the planet. The mind can also talk and listen to itself. The mind is divided as our body is divided. Just as you can say, I have one hand and I can shake my other hand and feel the other hand, the mind can talk to itself. Part of the mind is speaking and the other part is listening. It is a big problem when 1,000 parts of our minds are speaking at the same time. This is called a minute. Remember, the minute can be compared to a huge marketplace where thousands of people are talking and battering at the same time. I remember those days. Ooh, ooh. Each one of us, each one has a different thought and feeling. Each one has a different point of view. The programming in the mind, all of those agreements we have made are not necessarily compatible with each other. Each agreement is like a separate living being. I'm just gonna put on my sweatshirt. I'm a little warm. A little cold. Gets cold in here, so bear with me as I put on my give yourself self-love. Always take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Okay, it's a little chilly in here. Just wanted to put on my sweatshirt. I'm a little low. Okay, now I'm taller. Sorry. Whew. Back to the reading. I lost my spot. 1 second. Okay. Okay, humans are addicted to suffering. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go back because I forgot where I left it off. Okay, the minute is the reason humans hardly know what they want, how they want it, or when they want it. They don't agree with themselves because they are part of the mind that wants one thing and the other part that wants exactly the opposite. Some part of our minds have objections to certain thoughts and actions, and other part support the actions of the opposing thoughts. All these little living beings create inner conflict because they are alive and they each have a voice. Only by making inventory of our agreements will we uncover all of the conflicts in the mind and eventually make order out of the chaos of the minute. Don't take anything personally, because by taking things personally, you set yourself up to suffer for nothing. Humans are addicted to suffering at different levels and have to and to I'm sorry. Humans are addicted to suffering at different levels and to different degrees. And we support each other in maintaining these addictions. Humans agree to help each other suffer. If you have the need to be abused, you will find it easy to be abused by others. Likewise, if you are with people who need to suffer, something in you makes you abuse them. It is as if they have a note on their back that says, well, I remember this, please kick me. I remember they used to put notes in the back of when we was little kids. Please kick me. Their addictions, their addiction to suffering is nothing but an agreement that is reinforced every day. Whenever you go, you will find people lying to you. And as your awareness grows, you will notice that you also lie to yourself. Do not expect people to tell the truth, because they also lie to themselves. You have to trust yourself and choose to believe or not believe what someone says to you. Gift of discernment. That's God, just knowing who are the people around you who are saying the truth and who are lying to you. When we really see other people as they are without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it is okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. They are afraid you will discover that they are not perfect. It is painful to take the social mask off. If others say one thing but do another, you're lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. But if you are truthful with yourself, you will save yourself a lot of emotional pain. Telling yourself the truth about it may hurt, but you don't need to be attached to the pain. Healing is on the way, and it is just a matter of time before things will be better for you. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if you walk away from you. If that person doesn't walk away, you will surely endure many years of suffering with him or her. Walk away from things and people that no longer serve you. Do not accept people who mistreat you. Don't accept disagreements. Know who you are. You're beautiful beings of light. You're God's children. We don't need to be listening and agreeing to what people's opinions, whatever their belief about us. They're hurt just as, and they want others as well. Walking away may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. Then you can choose what you really want. You will find that you don't need to trust others as much as you need to trust yourself. to make the right choices. When you make it a strong habit not to take anything personally, you avoid many aspects, many upsets in your life. Your anger, jealousy, and envy will disappear. And even your sadness will simply disappear if you don't take things personally. If you can make this second agreement a habit, you will find that nothing can put you back into HELL. There is a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you take nothing personally. You become immune to the black magicians, and no spell can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. The world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you take it personally, you will not eat it. When you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes, when you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes even worse in the sender, but not in you. You can see how important this agreement is. Taking nothing personally helps you to break many habits and routines that trap you in the dream of HELL and causes needless suffering. Just by practicing this second agreement, you begin to break dozens of teeny tiny agreements that cause you to suffer. And if you practice the two agreements, you will break away 75% of the teeny tiny agreements that keep you trapped in HELL. Write this agreement on paper and put it on your refrigerator to remind you all the time. Don't take anything personally. As you make a habit of not taking anything personally, you don't need to place your trust in what others do or say. And I will remind myself not to take things personally as well. All this other stuff that is going around, I will not take it personally. I will just leave it alone and go about my business. You will only need to trust yourself to make reasonable choices. You are responsible for your actions, for the actions of others. You are never, you are never responsible for the actions of others. You are only responsible for you. When you truly understand this, you refuse to take things personally. You can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others. If you keep this agreement, you can travel around the world with a heart completely open and no one can hurt you. You can say, I love you without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. It's so funny because I told somebody I love you the other day, and it was just like, I love him as a brother, and I've been saying this a lot. It's like so natural now. It's like I love my people. I love humanity. I love each and every one of you. I love you. And I don't care who thinks that it's crazy. It doesn't matter. Your opinions mean nothing to me. You can say I love you without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can say yes or you can say no. whatever you choose without guilt or self-judgment. You can choose to follow your heart always. Then you can be in the middle of HELL and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in your state of bliss, and HELL will not affect you at all. The fourth agreement, don't make assumptions. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We could swear they are real. We make assumptions about others, about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally. Then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our words. That is why whenever we make assumptions, we are asking for problems. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, and we end up creating a whole big drama for nothing. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Take a moment to consider the true statement, the truth of this statement. The whole WAR of control between humans is about making assumptions and taking things personally. Our whole dream of HELL is based on that. We create a lot of emotional poison just by making assumptions and taking it personally. Because usually we start gossiping about our assumptions. Remember, gossiping is the way we communicate to each other in the dream of HELL and transfer poison to one another because we are afraid to ask for clarification. We make assumptions and believe we are right about the assumption, and we defend our assumption and try to make someone else wrong. It is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions because assumptions sets us up for suffering. The big my toot in the human mind creates a lot of chaos, which causes us to interpret everything and misunderstand everything. We only see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear. We don't perceive things the way they are. We have the habit of dreaming with no bias in reality. We literally dream things up in our imaginations because we don't understand something. We make an assumption about the meaning. And when the truth comes out, the bubble of our dream pops and we find out it was not what we thought it was was at all. This is an example. You're walking in the mall and you see a person you like. That person turns to you and smiles and then walks away. You can make a lot of assumptions because of this one experience. With this assumption, you create a whole fantasy. And you really want to believe this fantasy and make it real. The whole dream begins to form just from your assumption. And you can believe, oh, this person really likes me. In your mind, a whole relationship begins from that. Wow. Wow. Maybe you can even get married in this fantasy land. But the fantasy is your mind in your personal dream. Making assumptions in your relationship is really asking for problems. often we make the assumption that our partners know what we think and that we don't have to say what we want. We assume that we are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't, if they don't do what we assume they should do, we feel so hurt and say, you should have known. Another example, you decide to get married and you make the assumption your partner sees marriage the same way that you do. Then you live together and you find out this is not true. This creates a lot of conflict. But you still don't try to clarify your feelings about marriage. The husband comes home from work and the wife is mad, and the husband doesn't know why. Maybe it's because the wife made an assumption. Without telling him what she wants, she makes an assumption that he knows her so well that he knows what she wants, as if he read her mind. She gets upset because he fails to meet her expectations. Making assumptions in relationships leads to a lot of fights, a lot of difficulties, a lot of misunderstandings with people we supposedly love. In any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. They are going to do what they want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, what we assume they should do, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should have known. Again, we make the assumption that the other person knows what we want. A whole drama is created because we make this assumption and then put some assumptions on top of it. It's very interesting how the human mind works. We have the need to justify everything, to explain and understand everything in order to feel safe. We have millions of questions that needs to be answered because there are so many things that the reasoning mind cannot explain. It is not important if the answer is correct. Just the answer itself makes us feel safe. This is why we make assumptions. If others tell us something, we make an assumption. And if they don't tell us something, we make assumption to fill our needs, to know, and to replace the need to communicate. Even if we hear something and we don't understand, we make assumptions about what it means and then believe the assumption. We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. These assumptions are made so fast and unconsciously most of the time because we have agreements to communicate this way. We have agreements that is not safe to ask questions. We have agreed that if people love us, they should know what we want or how we feel. When we believe something, we assume we are right about it to the point that we will destroy relationships in order to defend our position. We make assumptions that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. This is the biggest assumption that humans make. And this is why we have a fear of being ourselves around others. Because we think everyone else will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. So even before others have a chance to reject us, we already have rejected ourselves. That is why the human mind, that's the way the human mind works. We also make assumptions about ourselves and create a lot of inner conflicts. I think I'm able to do this. You make the assumption, for instance, when you discover you aren't able to do it, you overestimate or underestimate yourself because you haven't taken the time to ask yourself questions and to answer them. Perhaps you need to gather more facts about a particular situation. Or maybe you need to stop lying to yourself about what truly you want. Maybe you may need to stop lying to yourself about what you truly want. Often when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like that person. You see what you want to see and you deny there are things you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. Then you make the assumption that one of the assumptions is my love will change this person. But is that true? But is this not true? Your love will not change anybody. If others change, it is because they want to change, not because you changed them. Then something happens between the two of you and you get hurt. Suddenly you see what you didn't want to see before, only now it is amplified by your emotional poison. Now you have to justify your emotional pain and blame them for your choices. We need to justify love. Is it there or not there? Real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. Let me say this again. Real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means we don't really like them. Real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means we don't even like them. Of course, you decide to live with someone. If you make that agreement, it is always better to make that agreement with someone who's exactly the way you want them to be, him or her to be. Find someone whom you don't have to change at all. It is much easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be instead of trying to change that person. Also, that person must love you just the way you are. If others feel they have to change you, that means they really don't love you just the way you are. So why be with someone if you're not the way he or she wants you to be? Why be with somebody who really doesn't love you because they don't accept you for who you are and they want to they want to change you? Nobody can change you. Nobody can force you to change yourself. Nobody can do that. We have to be what we are. So we don't have to present a false image. If you love me the way I am, okay, take me. If you don't love me the way I am, okay, bye-bye. Find somebody else. It may sound harsh, but this kind of communication means the personal agreements we make with others are clear and impeccable. That's impeccable communication because we're giving the message to the other person that you have to accept me as I am or don't accept me at all. Because you will not change for that person. That's clear communication. If you don't accept, then you made your agreement not to accept. That's impeccable communication. Just imagine the day that you stop making assumptions with your partner and eventually with yourself, with everyone else in your life. Your way of communicating will change completely, and your relationship will no longer suffer conflicts created by mistaken assumptions. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you're clear as you can be. And even then, do not assume you know all there is to know about a given situation. Once you hear the answer, you will not have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. Also, find your voice to ask for what you want. Everyone has the right to tell you no or yes. But you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everybody has the right to ask you, and you have the right to say yes or no. If you don't understand something, it is better for you to ask and be clear instead of making an assumption. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly, free of emotional poison. Did you get that? The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly, free of emotional poison. Without making assumptions, your words become impeccable. With clear communication, all of your relationships will change. Not only with your partner, but with everyone else. You don't need to make assumptions because everything becomes so clear. This is what I want. This is what you want. If we communicate this way, our words become impeccable. If all humans could communicate in this way, with impeccability of the word, there would be no WARS, no violence, no misunderstandings. All human problems will be resolved if we just have clear communication. This is then the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. Just saying this sounds easy, but I understand that it is difficult to do. It is difficult because we all so often do exactly the opposite. We have all these habits and routines that we are not even aware of. Becoming aware of these habits and understanding the importance of disagreement is the first step. But understanding its importance is not enough. Information or idea is merely the seed in your mind. What we really what will really make sense is action. Taking the action over and over again gains strength. Taking the action over and over again strengthens your will, nurtures the seed, and establishes a solid foundation for the new habit to grow. After many repetitions, these new agreements will become second nature, and you will see how the magic of your words transform you from black magicians into white magicians. A white magician uses the words for creation, giving, sharing, and loving. By making this agreement a habit, your whole life will be completely transformed. When you transform, your whole dream magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because spirit flows freely through you. This is the master mastery of intent, the mastery of the spirit, the mastery of love, the mastery of gratitude, the mastery of life. This is the goal of the Toltec. This is the path of personal freedom. And I will finish the rest my next life. I hope everybody enjoyed this teaching as much as I am learning as well, because I am always learning, and I love sharing this book, and I'm very thankful for the person who gave me this book. She's a very beautiful woman, and very blessed that we have people that come into our lives who are very beautiful. And I want to say thank you to all. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Jeanette, and I am a high vibrational being, and I receive messages through many forms. I'm connected to everything and everyone. I love you all. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to make a donation to my channel, it's $BELIVE 201 or capital JS BELIEVES is my second cash app. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I'm very grateful for you all. Have a blessed day and a good evening, and pray for one another. Please pray for those people who are experiencing, just pray for one another. I love you all. Namaste. Bye.